Bring temporary funding to the federal government. So the shutdown already has lasted nearly 3 full weeks. The House has not even convened since the shutdown, and Democrats are no closer to getting some Republicans to agree on extending Affordable Care Act subsidies that are set to expire. Republicans are expected to put forward a bill to pay only troops and essential federal employees, but that too is unlikely to pass. State health officials warn that if the government does not reopen in a few days, food assistance for millions of Texans could be cut off. Fox 4's Amelia Jones joins us to explain. Amelia.
Heather, the North Texas Food Bank says without people getting their SNAP benefits come November, they expect an influx of people to use their food pantries. And this just puts on more pressure to make sure there's enough food for everyone in need. As the government shutdown enters its 4th week, more government assistance programs are feeling the impact. On Friday, the U.S. Department of Agriculture sent a letter to state agencies, alerting them that if the government shutdown continues past October 27th, there will not be enough funds to pay November's Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program.
Okay, you guys heard it. If it goes past October 27th, they may not have enough money to fund the SNAP benefits. So panic is definitely spreading online. It's over like 1.4 million Georgians wonder if the SNAP benefits will arrive in November. Like, this isn't a glitch, right? It's the direct result of the federal government shutdown. And Georgia's Department of Human Services has already started issuing warnings. Today, we're going to break down how this happened and what you need to know. So how can this happen? The Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, or SNAP, is 100% federally funded, okay? But because of the government shutdown that began October 1st, the U.S. Department of Agriculture warned there are insufficient funds for November and has directed states to halt payments. This puts the benefits of nearly 1.4 million Georgians at risk. State officials issued a stark alert that November benefits cannot be paid until the shutdown ends. A move that impacts families, seniors, and individuals with disabilities across the state. While your existing EBT balance is safe, it may not be reloaded with new federal funds. Let's take a look at some of these videos, guys, of what is really kind of going on. So let me make sure I'm in the right spot here. And we're going to show you guys a little something about what's going on here in Georgia, so you guys can see where your tax dollars are going. Okay, so let's check this out, guys.
A look at the concerning situation. Ticia.
Yeah, good morning, guys. Lawmakers have less than a week to reopen the government before state agencies say the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, or SNAP, could impact families ahead of the holidays. Now, the U.S. Department of Agriculture sent a letter to state agencies on Friday. It said there will not be enough funds to pay November's SNAP program if the government shutdown continues past October 27th. The program provides help for 42 million people across the country. Clarissa Clark with the North Texas Food Bank says they already had a game plan before the government shutdown, but she also says she anticipates every area will see an increase of people if SNAP benefits don't come next month.
That's crazy.
Luckily, we were able to purchase our USDA food through December in September, so we will get our food. It's going to just put more pressure on our agency partners who are already seeing big increases because of the high cost of living.
The North Texas Food Bank covers 12 counties and has 500 agencies, partners that help distribute food to those in need. Well, lawmakers from both sides of the aisle are receiving backlash from withholding SNAP benefits. Now, other assistance programs to help families in need, such as Medicaid and the Children's Health Insurance Program, are not impacted by the shutdown. For Good Day, I'm Ticia Muzinga.
Wow, that's crazy. Yeah. So, like, in a cruel twist, these new federal rules for SNAP are also scheduled to take effect on November 1st. It's part of the Fiscal Responsibility Act of 2023. And these rules change work requirements, but also add new exemptions for veterans, people experiencing homelessness, and young adults who have aged out of foster care. So this creates a confusing catch-22 for Georgians. people must comply with new rules to qualify for benefits that might not even show up. Okay. So this next clip that we are going to share with you are about the November SNAP payments impacting millions. Okay. So let's get this on the screen.
Pantries in their service area. He adds the government shutdown comes amid a growing trend of food insecurity across the region.
In the last 2 years alone, food insecurity has increased by 44% in central Pennsylvania and by 40% in the state of Pennsylvania, and that matches increases seen nationally.
In a statement, the Pennsylvania Department of Human Services placed the blame on congressional Republicans for the pause in SNAP payments, saying, quote, Congress has the ability to prevent the harm this will cause to Pennsylvania families and small businesses, and we urge Republicans in Congress to reopen the government and protect vulnerable Pennsylvanians at risk because of this inaction. The Central PA Food Bank says their warehouses will continue supporting its local pantries and families in need through the duration of the shutdown.
Everyone who needs food assistance is welcome to visit one of our partner food pantries across our service territory.
Matt Kleindens, Fox 43 News.
Guys, this is crazy. I'm gonna be honest with you, right? So all my veteran friends, I don't know if you picked up on that, though, that the SNAP benefits are for veterans. A lot of veterans don't even know that. So if you have disability issues, once the government opens back up, you can probably look into SNAP because they are prioritizing veterans and homelessness. And if you have any of those things, those issues, this might be something that you definitely want to take a look at, guys, especially if maybe you're 100% disabled or something of that nature, right? This is some good stuff, actually, to be honest with you. But it's not good that they shut down the government and people don't have access to, access to food. So that's the part that kind of sucks, is that they just all of a sudden just was like, yeah, we're not paying that this month, but we got other stuff we're doing, and that's more important than you getting something in your belly. So yeah, let's take a look at this video.
The Department of Human Services now says November SNAP payments won't go out until the government shutdown ends. State leaders say that they are ready to send benefits as soon as the shutdown is over, but until then, families may be left in limbo. Food banks across Georgia say that they're already seeing higher demand. And this update, it comes as a new report says thousands of jobs could be lost here in our state if subsidies from the Affordable Care Act expire. That report comes from researchers at George Washington University and the Commonwealth Fund. And the report says that there could be around 340,000 job losses. It's predicted about 154,000 of these jobs would be healthcare related, with the remaining 185,000 affecting other sectors. The report estimates 33,000 potential job losses could take place here in Georgia and ranks our state among 10 in the country that could see significant loss. 9 of the 10 of those states, they're in the South, and the state that could lose the most jobs, that's Texas, with 83,000 potential jobs lost there.
Oh man, so they're talking about job losses. I've gotten talking to people today that have pretty much lost their job. So yeah, it's definitely gonna hit Georgia hard. It's definitely gonna hit Georgia hard. Like I said, I got plenty of family and friends that were in government working at the CDC, and yeah, they've been furloughed, and they're definitely scared and worried about exactly what are they gonna do. What's going on, man? Why can't we get our money that it was a job, and there's no way they're gonna just leave us hanging out here. They've always taken care of us, so I don't know what's going on. There's no way they would leave us and abandon us. So hopefully that's the case. And we're going live, so yeah, my dogs, they're gonna bark. They probably hear the Amazon guy or something like that. But hey, that's part of having dogs, and so here we go. Let's go to the next clip. The next clip.
Their quality of life, House Democrats on duty, House Republicans on vacation.
If a shutdown does happen, hundreds of thousands of federal workers would face the threat of layoffs.
How many federal workers do you plan to lay off?
Well, we may do a lot.
Meanwhile, essential workers like TSA agents and air traffic controllers would not get paid but would still be expected to work. Federal programs like SNAP could face disruptions, and national parks could be impacted. In Georgia, that includes Fort Pulaski and the Jimmy Carter National Historical Park. In South Carolina, that includes Fort Sumter and Fort Moultrie. But right now, both sides appear to remain divided, leaving thousands of federal employees in a state of limbo.
We will protect your health care at all times and defend your health care until victory is won.
They want to put illegals on health care. That's something that should not be discussed with the government shutdown. And it's something that should not be discussed anyway.
Now, the state of Georgia has provided a link for federal employees to receive unemployment claims. We'll have a link where you can access that on WJCL.com.
Bro, that's got to really suck that you've had a federal job and now they got you doing unemployment benefits. I mean, it's not like you guys put a felon in the office or somebody who's not going to pay you. It's not like that. I mean, he's going to pay you. He told you he's going to pay you. Or did he? Did he tell you that? Maybe he won't pay you. Who cares? I mean, we know he's shafted people in the past and stuff. I'm not here to be a politician. I believe in character. There's a certain character you got to have around me. You can't be around me if you don't have a certain character. And definitely not paying people is not one of those characters. So the question is, so what can you do right now? First, if you need immediate food assistance, call 211 to connect with local food banks, which are bracing for a surge in demand. Second, Georgia state agencies are advising people they must continue to comply with all program rules, like completing renewals on time. Failing to do so could cause delays when funding is restored. So finally, if you have a balance on your EBT card, conserve it, because as of now, no one can say for sure when cards will be refilled. So that's pretty much what we got going on in Georgia. I got one more video for you guys. I want y'all to take a look at this. She has some really good information. Check it out.
Important update to share as we talk about the government shutdown, day 21. We've confirmed with Georgia state officials that November SNAP benefits are not going to be issued. They're not going to go out until the federal government shutdown ends. So what does that mean? Well, nearly 1.4 million Georgians depend on SNAP benefits every month to put food on the table, whether they are seniors on a fixed income or individuals living with a disability or families with children. This is a big deal and one that we've covered a lot here at 11 Alive. So what would that look like? Would food banks be able to just pick up and fill the gap? Well, that may be harder than you think, because the Atlanta Community Food Bank, when we took our questions to the CEO, they basically said that they're already dealing with extraordinary need right now, a historic high level of need in the community. And if SNAP benefits do in fact get delayed, that food insecurity crisis could turn into a disaster. Now, we did ask Georgia Governor Brian Kemp's office if there's any type of contingency plan to help support families or support the food banks if SNAP benefits do indeed get delayed. And basically that question was not answered. Instead, Kemp's office pointed to Democrats that, quote, still refuse to do their jobs and open the government. But for families who are caught in the middle of all this, we have gleaned some tips that other states have been talking about. I want to point out some of those. One state saying it could be wise to conserve your SNAP benefits at this time if you still have money on your card. Maybe consider prioritizing buying non-perishable foods at this point. And then there's also a food pantry locator that you can familiarize yourself with that the Atlanta Community Food Bank has. You can find it if you live in the metro at acfb.org, acfb.org. Obviously, we'll continue to follow. This is a really important issue that could affect more than 1 million Georgians here in our state.
Wow, 1 million Georgians from the state. So they reached out to the governor's office, and the governor said it's the Democrats' fault. They asked him, They did not ask him anything about Democrats or Republicans. They asked him for a solution for what is going on. And their answer was, it's the Democrat fault that need to open up their government. That's their answer. So what began and still is political gridlock in Washington has become a potential humanitarian crisis in Georgia. I'm here on the streets telling you guys that this is a crisis. So for over 1 million Georgians, this isn't politics. It's the difference between a child going hungry a night right before the holiday season. The warnings from the state are clear. Well, I tell you what, the warnings from the state is that the government needs to reopen. There's no solution. And the situation is dire. So as we move into November, which is Thanksgiving, which is a time when most people have enough food to eat, support for your local food banks and check on your neighbors, because right now, for millions of people in Georgia, all we have is each other. So make sure you check in on your family members, kids, children, stuff of that nature. Stay tuned for more of this. I'm gonna bring more clips to you guys of what's going on. I know some of it gonna be weird. Some of it might not have to do with dogs. Some of it we're gonna give people turds of the day, because we don't want people to just drop turds everywhere, especially when you're walking your dog. You shouldn't be dropping turds. So we're gonna be talking about people that's dropping turds in the world. And stay tuned. All right, we'll have more later on, guys. Tell me what you guys think. Do you like what we're doing? You like the comments? You like anything about it? Or if you don't like it, that's cool too. Subscribe or don't subscribe. It's all right. All right. But we're going to be here every day, so you might as well subscribe. So, all right. I'll see y'all later, man. We'll see y'all later on this evening.